Okay, hi everyone. Let's do a bit of the assignment 4 here. So assignment 4 had to do with sound shaping using frequency modulation and additive synthesis. The idea was that you should read the reference articles on synthesis in the Max Help files. They are located here in reference. And if you do a search for, well, here it is already, but if you do a search for frequency modulation, you'll get some article here, and you can view the tutorial. So very useful to read this. And you have those tutorials here as well. So we can make a note or we can play a tone with these presets here. This preset object works by remembering some settings from the objects in the patch here. So if we make a new preset object, we have new buttons that we can use. So we can store the sounds that we want by making some different shapes here, or using different harmonicity values, maybe a different frequency, and maybe changing the duration. So you can do different sounds like this. And if we play this, if we like what we hear, we can place it in this slot here by pressing Shift and clicking. So this, we can do it like this. And maybe that's a bit long for a notification that you'd want for your phone or something. So we can make it a bit shorter like that. That's interesting. So the additive synthesis works the same way. Here you'll want to set this to 200 or something because it's not part of the preset, this frequency. So if we do this, then we'll get a sound. Okay, so these are the different types of sounds that we can do with frequency modulation and additive synthesis. Have a look at these and read the chapters. The point of this video is to show you how to record some sounds that you like to disk using these objects. So I'll copy these into the FM patch here. And here you can rename the objects or the items in the U menu. If you find a sound you like, let's say like you want to name one that you can use for a message is received or a notification for a specific app, you can name these here. And you can name them by going into the menu items here and playing around with these. So let's see if I like this sound. Maybe I can make it short. Okay. That might be a nice sound. I don't want it to click too much. Good. Okay, so I have this sound here that I want to save to disk. Now it's playing in Max, but it's not on the disk, obviously. But we can record it to an audio file using SF Record. Oops. Here, SF Record contains, here you can see my voice being recorded into Max. SF Record allows you to open an audio file or open an audio file, kind of a container. Here you can default to the AIFF audio file. Then you can start the audio, and this toggle turns on and off the audio being recorded to your computer. So I'll copy this part and put it in here. So the help files, that's what they're there for. You can kind of copy things, and I don't want to call it stealing, but you're taking things for your own use, and you can, because it's there. It's there to take. So I have these values up here. I'll move these up here for a second. Okay, yes, I have this. And next, I'll show you how to create these, create a name for the file, and make sure that the file is recorded at the right folder that you want to record it to. So this is the dispatcher object, which allows you to do different operations on your patch. You can make objects appear and disappear, and all sorts of things. But one thing the useful thing we'll use it for today is this path message, and this shows you the location of your current patch. So what we want to do is make sure we always have this at hand in the memory. So I'll attach an object called load mess. Mess is for message. So this loads a message when you open up the patch. So we'll load mess path, so that at startup this patcher receives the path argument or path message, and it'll locate the current location of your patch. If you want to choose a different locations, there are ways of doing that, but for now we'll just assume that you want to store things in the same folder as your assignment patch. So we'll use this combine object. Combine is a way to combine strings, in values, integers, floats. All the data types used in Max can be combined. And see, like if I want to combine cake and sprinkle, let's do cake and icing, because I can't remember how to spell sprinkles for the moment. I'll do this and combine it, add that with a bang, and I'll combine these two strings together. So it's very useful if I want to locate, if I want to create a path. If I add not a hyphen, but one of these slanty lines here, it'll give me a something that looks like a file path. So for now, I'll use the words path and file name. These can be whatever you want them to be. Oh, and I'll also add the extension that I want my file to be, which is AIFF, so I can use this. So now what I'm doing is I'm creating the path for my eventual audio file using this path and FN. So if I have this path here, the path will be located here, and the file name will be coming from here. And now let's see what that looks like. So I'll set this up like this, and I have path. So now I have something that looks like a file path to. This works in Windows as well, so it's not a Mac only thing. But now I have the file path where I want the sound file to be saved, as well as the sound file name. But since the path is constant, I might want to activate this combine not with this path, but with the file name, which is coming from the U menu. So to do this, I can control which of these inlets will produce an action. And to do that, I'll use this type of argument called an attribute. And I happen to know that combine uses the attribute triggers. And triggers determines which inlet will trigger an output. And because these are numbered from 0 onwards, the input that I want to cause a trigger is 1. So I'll put triggers 1 like this. Now when I do this path, it's controlled by, oops, yes, you have to write this down, click on, yeah, so these have to be set up anyway. That's why it's useful to set it up at the, whenever you load the patch so that you don't have to worry about it again. For now, I can move this bang object here in case I need it again. But usually you won't. So now you can go through here and you can see the file name is changing in the path and nothing else has to change. So I'll clean this up a little bit by getting rid of this message here. Make this nice and tidy. Put this up here. And now you notice that this SF record is activated with open. So we want to open this file here. So we can use this prepend object for that. So from the prepend, we'll give it the argument open. And now we have open, and now we have a message going to this SF record. So move this up here. I trust that this is working, so I'll get rid of these. And now this has some stuff I might not need. For example, I don't need this open anymore. I have this one coming here. And I can actually use this comment here if I want to remember what I was doing. I don't need a microphone because it's coming from this signal here. So I'll open it. I'll get rid of these guys. Maybe put these guys up here as a reference. So this is a mono signal, but I'll record it to both channels so it sounds equal in both the left and the right channel. So I'll put this one into SF record, and because this SF record has an argument of 2, it means we're recording to 2 channels. So I'll connect both of these like this, and then I command Y so that it looks a little bit neater. And I trust that I'll remember this, so I'll take these out for now. This here is a record, meaning that you can record for a specific amount of time, but we'll just stop the recording when this when this sound ends at the end of the 500 milliseconds. So let's get so We don't need this one. I'll use this comment here to make this extra clear what's happening. So toggle on to start the recording, toggle off to end the recording. Toggle on means this toggle is set to 1. And how do we set it to 1? We click on it. So if you send this toggle a 1, if you click on it, it sends a 1. If you stop it, it sends a 0. So it's an on-off switch. Very nice and binary. So we'll put here when we send a 0. Here. So we want this toggle to turn on when the sound starts, and we want it to turn off when the sound ends. So we know when it starts, that's whenever we play the note. But how does it end? It ends when this line reaches its destination. So if we put a button here at the end of the sound, see, there's a button ringing or a button flashing when it reaches the end of the sound. So we can use this to tell us that it's time to close the file. So I'll leave this here just to clean this up a little bit. So what we can do is when this is pressed, we can send a 1. So we'll send this a 1. And since it's a bit far away, we can actually send it. So send on. And I like to have my sends be a different color because sometimes it's useful to know what's connecting to what. So I know a lot of you like to use colors for aesthetic reasons. That's wonderful. I use it for purely functional reasons so I can tell what's going on. So this will be sending, let's do this with an off here. This will be send on and this will be send off. So I'll put this 0 and off. Okay, so now how does this all work? So I'm going to say I want to open file 1, and that opens the file path. And when it starts recording when this toggle goes on and off, which is controlled by the play note. So I'll play a note. And now, it didn't. Sorry, that wasn't connected, so it never turned off. So let's try that again. Sound file 1. So now it turned on and off. Let's see if it recorded properly. Let's find this in my folder here. Now it should play. That was a bit louder than expected, but now it's loaded and it's on my folder. Actually, and I have these other sounds, these other files that are actually empty because although I had them open for a little while, I never recorded anything to them. So now if I want to do a different sound altogether, I can play with this a little bit, maybe make a lower tone and change the duration. I mean, it's kind of the same formula. I can clear these. And actually, I can make a sound without the need of this modulation index, but I'll use it anyway. Let's see if I can do this. I don't know if I'd like that notification sound, but I can make it lower. Maybe make a nice little sting. I'm really hoping you are more creative than I am with this. Oops. Let's clear them all. It's a little bit better. Maybe if I change the harmonicity. Yeah. And maybe if I don't make it an integer harmonic, I can add a bit of distortion to it, maybe. See actually now what's happening is that every time I'm playing this, I'm recording to the audio file. So I've actually overridden my sound file one, unfortunately. Oh, it sounds like that now. Okay, wait, let's try sound file 2. Okay. So these are recorded now. So, and if I wanted to save these, I can always save them here in the memory location. So, this is one way of making it work. There are other ways. You can explore other ways, and maybe you found a way that worked for you. One thing you could do now is give this more of a friendly user interface. So that's maybe your friend could use this without knowing how to use Macs, for example. So we can make a text button. Text button allows you to make a button for text, and just with this button we can give it a label of record, or maybe this is a multi-purpose button. Maybe it's not the best idea to have a multi-purpose button, but for now let's try, see how it works. And this just requires sending this here. So we can add a few of these objects to presentation. Maybe this would be useful. This, and we can set maybe these are nice to have. We can add the preset to the presentation and the file name to the presentation. So now we have some objects. So this could be on top. Let's see if I double this. Set file name. Maybe that's not the best label, but at least it gives you an idea of what this should do. And we'll put this play record here. Like this, and here I don't know why I'm all the way in that corner. We could put them here. This will be the sound duration. And these are technical terms, but let's keep them now. I mean, carrier frequency would be like the pitch of the sound, I suppose. Although, depending on And the other parameters you may or may not perceive it as the pitch, but it's still technically the carrier frequency. I forgot to put one of these here. So here this will be the amplitude curve. And this will be the modulating index. These are my presets down here. Yes. Now this is where I'm relying on your aesthetics, your wonderful artistic eye to make this look nice and make it look like an actual user interface. I can only do so much in this little time, but maybe with a little thought process, I might do something a bit better looking. Okay, and now I can try doing some sound. So let me set up sound 3. I should really have a button to I should really have a button that trials the sound without recording it. How would I how would I do this? Well, okay. So this records. Maybe I just want a play button. That would be the record button, but I also want a play button. So what I could do is gate this value here. So I could have a gate. Gate opens the gate. Gate closes the gate. So this is the maybe this will work. So now every time you press a note, you should be able to hear it, but it won't necessarily record unless this gate is open. So if I keep this to play or trial, maybe, and this would be my record button. And this would open up like this. So this would aha, yes. What's useful here is the trigger. First, is it red? That's usually a record button. Red is usually record. Okay, so what's useful here is the trigger. Because I want to open the patch before it starts recording. So if I send 2 bangs from the record, the first one will open the gate, and the second one will play the note. And yes, so now this will just play without opening the gate. And now if I want to record it, it'll play the sound as well as record it. And that was on sound 3. Let's see if that worked. Ooh, okay. So now I can So now I can use a different sound. Let's see, now I'll set my sound 4 to another sound like this. I'll make it a bit longer with maybe 3 and a bit of inharmonicity, and change the pitch of it. Okay. And now record. Ooh, sorry. And now record for, whoops, it didn't record properly. Let's try it again. No, still not there. Why didn't it record properly? Let's see. Play and record. Okay, now it worked. Probably because I hadn't opened this file properly. So to do that, maybe we could or maybe there's a more sophisticated way of doing it. Let's see. Let me try to change these values a little bit. I'll change the carrier frequency. Well, that's very low. Okay. Now 5. Okay, that seems to work. So it's not perfect. It might be a little bit buggy, but first thing you want to do is set the file name so that it opens this file, and then you can play around with it. Actually, let's do something. Let's put the play up here. Right, so that you can play. So we could put it like this. So first we'll play, trial it like this. Next we'll set the value, set the file name, and then we record. And we can put these wherever. They're just for show. Maybe these we can put up here. You get to decide how this looks. So yeah, okay. So now if we set these different values, we can play them. Oops. Set the duration, and now I'll put this to sound file 6 and record it. Okay. So I have my sound file 6 here. I should really be putting more thought into these sounds. I just like making funny amplitude shapes. Let's see how this sounds. Okay. Maybe I should add my clear to the presentation. Actually, I can. So you'll notice here, I can't connect anything when I'm in presentation mode. So I'll just have each of these alone. like this. What? You too. Now I have two clears. I'll just put them like this. And, oops. You want them to... No, 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 what have I done? I created a clear, but I'm not sure which clear it's going to. This is here. Hey, let's use color. We'll use color to make sure that these match properly. So this can be background color, a nice blue, and this one can be a nice, whatever that color is, orange. I'll put it like this. I don't like the dynamic. Oops. I don't like this gradient. So I'll just leave it like this. And this one, I can make it blue with no, darn it, come back. Here we go. Okay, now when I switch here, these will be a bit clear like this. Okay, now I have these going like this and like this and like this. And now let's see what this sounds like. Okay, now I'm going to set up my sound file 7. And now let's see if it's recorded properly. Okay. So that's how you do this assignment. And you're also supposed to do something with the additive synthesis. So whatever procedure we did for the FM synth here, just double it or do it again for the additive synth. And that's how you do it. Thanks for watching.